I really hope it just isn't a rehash. Because God, I've seen so many content creators do the same shit over and over again. It's really annoying.
Developer showcases and early previews are anything to go by, Crimson Desert is shaping up to be one of the most intricately designed open worlds that we've ever seen. The upcoming action venture is packed full with interlocking systems and environmental interactions that go way beyond just the surface level. From hyper-realistic animations of mundane activities to deep physics simulations and impressively detailed lore, here are 30 mind-boggling examples of attention
I'm just
to
so
detail
worried
in
it's just
Crimson
gonna
Desert.
be the same.
Every resource gathering has its own animation. It's often too easy for resource gathering to boil down to pressing a button and watching something magically appear in your inventory. Not so though with Crimson Desert, where a tactile approach to every gathering activity yields a specific animation. Whether you're swinging a pickaxe to mine ore, chopping wood, or harvesting crops like corn, each interaction is an opportunity for the game to showcase your physical effort. Cooking is surprisingly deep. Cooking isn't just a menu-based buff system. No, Crimson Desert treats food preparation with care here, where gathering foodstuffs, cooking them up, storing,
I'm
and
so
eating is a
concerned.
fully animated process. Recipes can be discovered via collectible cards scattered throughout the world, while each meal grants specific benefits. So not only is this another incentive to explore, but it's a vital system which
I don't know about
supports
that
gameplay
flaming,
progression.
but like it feels like this game is getting glazed to high hell. Like it's gonna be the next Skyrim or something, you know? But I don't know. Like I played Black Desert, which is their MMO. It was their game before this, and like it just seems like a single player BDO to me.
NPCs operate on routine. Years ago, Shenmue established NPCs as regular townsfolk, each with jobs, responsibilities, and daily routines. Now, Crimson Desert is poised to bring this idea to its fullest realization yet. The denizens of Pywell operate on their own accord, moving through the world, reacting to your actions, and interacting with each other in believable ways. They're not just static quest givers here, but living, breathing people who'd still go about their business whether you were actually present or not. Animals behave differently like real-life animals. Like Crimson Desert's human NPCs, the animals that you encounter on the continent, whether wild, farmed, or domesticated, operate on their own behavior, with your interactions mirroring their traits. Cats can be petted, can be cradled, farm pigs can be carried, and so on and so forth. A quirky detail has surfaced which indicates even specific breeds of animals offer unique encounters. It has been suggested that brown chickens can be gently
EVE
held in
Online,
their
the
arms,
medieval
whilst
RPG games,
white
too
chickens
complex.
can only be carried.
Like apparently, it's just gonna be it's more action heavy. So I'm really hoping because like I don't know how much I'm gonna interact with the like the cooking or fishing or farming system. It's yeah, I mean it's not for me really.
By their feet. It's oddly specific, sure, but it points to the developer's dedication to crafting a believable world that feels plausible. Crafting and repairs are fully animated. Like resource gathering, cooking, and animal interaction, of course, Crimson Desert's crafting and repair systems are going to feature bespoke animations as well. You see, there's nothing more jarring than a single input and whoosh, a new sword just conjures right out of thin air. Arguably less subtle than chicken carrying, to be
But
sure.
can I run?
The attention the
Can I run a cat breeding puppy mill? What? I don't even know how to answer that, Pile.
developer has given crafting, repairs, and the host of other hands-on activities has been all there to maximize the game's immersion. Individually, they don't amount to much, but collectively, these attentions to detail will be a key factor in selling believability. Combat animations reflect direction of impact. In combat, your enemies won't simply absorb damage and stagger, but will recoil according to the direction that they've been attacked. Physically tied to incoming strikes, whether an enemy is hit from the front, back, or side, the force will push them the opposite way. Directional impact animation isn't a revolutionary feature, but during the franticness of large-scale skirmishes, it'd be easier for the developer to just overlook this very detail. Enemy reactions chain together. Expanding on the point just raised, one of the most impressive examples of enemies recoiling with direction comes when, during the heat of battle, Cliff pushes an assailant. This opponent is hurled backwards, colliding with another soldier's horse. Startled, the
Custom
horse
breeds
bucks
of
violently,
cat
flinging
criminal
its rider
empire.
through
Oh
the
my
air.
god.
This is an excellent
A lot of first look streamers have like access journalism or whatever they call it. Basically, if they don't glaze the game, they lose all early access. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm seeing. Like, I mean, I really hope some of you guys played BDO before, but like really, it's just it looks like a single player BDO to me.
example of unscripted physics merging together, producing a realistic, surprising interaction. Horses run free. This is another observation made during
Like all of this shit is in BDO. You can do all of this in BDO. It's
one of Crimson Desert's battle scenes. Look closely through the mayhem and you'll spot war horses running without a rider. While this might not initially seem significant, if you think about how the horse has ended up riderless, its rider of course has been down during the fight, making the horse's solitary galloping more meaningful here. Yes, horses will bolt when scared, but there's also a story behind it showing that
yeah,
Crimson
I'm
Desert's
kind of
life cycle
wondering, like,
continues
because like
even in
people
the
are saying the UI is bad, but like, you know, I mean, BDO's UI was bad, so I don't know. I mean, maybe they'll like edit it somehow. We'll see.
microcosm of battle. Horse movement is weighted and physical. Horse traversal isn't just about traversing from one place to the next at speed. Mounts in Crimson Desert move differently depending on the terrain, incline, their momentum, and direction. Galloping uphill slows their pace and wears them out, while turning sharply carries noticeable weight transfer. These physical responses make riding feel authentic, action you'll need to continually engage with. Environments have destructibility. Pywell's environmental objects aren't just static set dressing. Stone walls can crumble, trees can be destroyed, watchtowers can be leveled. In fact, most structures appear to exhibit destructibility to some degree. From colossal castle strongholds, more on this in the next entry by the way, to wooden carts which will splinter into bits on contact. Siege weapons and physics interactions. Large-scale combat sequences show siege weapons which appear to physically interact with structures and the environment at large. Watching massive projectiles collide with fortifications adds a layer of spectacle, sure, but destructibility of this ilk
Mods?
expands
Yeah,
strategic
I don't
choices
probably
as well.
allow mods.
Cover
It's
can
a
actually
single
be
player game,
destroyed,
so you know.
structures can be flattened, entryways can actually be created, and so on and so forth. What's
Versus
more,
wooden
broken
tower
objects
tip
and
over,
debris
yeah.
remain in the environment for the remainder of the battle. Debris depends
It
on
is
how hard
pie.
you hit.
I just felt bad because like basically I have a big storm coming in tomorrow, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream tomorrow. Or in a few hours because it's gonna hit in a few hours, so like we'll see.
Sticking with destructibility for another entry, as this mechanic highlights the intricate lengths the developers are willing to go to make the bridge between reality and video game fantasy as small as possible. Those destructible structures and items we just highlighted, well, the amount of debris that's left depends on how hard that you hit. So let's take a wooden gate for example. Slicing it with your sword might yield shards of wood, whereas smashing it with a great hammer could send entire chunks of wood flying. Terrain reacts to combat. Fighting in Crimson Desert is swift, freewheeling, and
Hi,
complex,
Wolma.
but
Don't
the
worry.
location you
My
engage in
bad.
battle sells the visual experience as much as the depth of the maneuvers. Scrap in the desert and you'll kick up plumes of dust and sand, while grassy plains see blades of grass part and ripple around your movements. Equipment stays wet after water exposure. Should you dive into a river or get caught out in the heavy rain, your clothing and equipment won't just instantly dry. Fabrics and materials stay visibly wet.
Okay, I feel like this is just the basic, like, you know. It's not even I don't get these videos, you guys. I really don't. I mean, it's just the basic shit you already expect.
For an extended period of time. Like most entries on this very rundown, this one's only minor, but it's another tick next to realism. What's unclear at this stage though, although it wouldn't be surprising of course, is if your clothes dry quicker out in the sunshine. Water physics are remarkably detailed. And beyond just clothes staying wet, we have water itself, which behaves convincingly across a string of environments. Waves lap against the shoreline, with noticeable tide marks on coastal rocks. Rivers flow
Yeah, I
dynamically through
miss
the
when games were just games, bro. These graphics don't even wow me. I mean, BDO looks exactly the same like this. There's no difference.
landscape, whilst rainfall visibly interacts with surfaces. What we're hoping you'll get from this feature is how all of this
Base
detail
building
isn't
in
just for
this, I think there's like a mode where you can like send dudes out to like weaken other bases or something, like stuff like that, like camps and shit. Um, but that's all I heard. So who knows?
studio to flex its proprietary game tech muscle, but to actually make sure environments feel alive however the technology allows. Fire spreads naturally. Fire propagates through combustible construction, materials, and surroundings. Case in point, should a wooden outbuilding catch a flame, the fire will likely spread organically to surrounding grassland. This sort of system confirms a very real connection between your actions and the effect that they could have on the environment. Whilst not likely to affect the narrative, you at least get the sense that your behaviors do carry consequences. Fire changes structural properties. Sticking with fire, as this is the best example of this happening, although we of course can't rule out other environmental hazards reshaping the landscape beyond just aesthetic changes. What we're getting at with this one relates to one specific report of a wooden gate which initially couldn't be smashed down, even while it was burning. It was only afterwards, when the materials were reduced to smoldering embers, that the structure was weak enough to actually charge through. Arrows can be lit manually. Yes, we know, more fire. You'll be able to light the tips of your arrows if you hold them over an open flame source, such as a brazier.
God, like this, I feel like this whole game is just gonna be like content farming of like, oh, did you know you could do this?
Once lit, these arrows become more devastating ammunition or tools to ignite flammable objects throughout the environment and spread fire across the landscape if your arrows are wayward. Fundamentally, anything burning across Pywell can be used tactically, pragmatically, or just for fun. Sometimes you just want to watch the world burn. Nighttime is properly dark, like medieval dark. Many open world games might artificially brighten their nighttime environments to maintain the game's visibility. Crimson Desert instead embraces realistic darkness. You'll need a light source here, and from footage shared by the developer, it seems your mount can carry some sort of torch, at least, because without it, you'd be hard pressed to see your hand in front of your face. In other words, nighttime might be genuinely difficult to navigate, making firelight more meaningful than in other games. Weather systems affect visibility. Heavy rain, fog, and storms don't just make for
Like
inclement conditions.
I just really hate like content like this where it's just basically it's just the most basic shit you expect from any RPG, but just I don't know, it's just not my thing.
In stamina, patience, and perseverance. The world map is enormous. Although still
Dwarf
unconfirmed,
Fortress, I heard
reports
of it.
are circulating that Crimson Desert's continent of Pywell is ginormous. To sort of put it into some context, rumors suggest it'll be twice the size of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. If true, it could take approximately 2 hours to cross by horseback. Now, scale doesn't of course guarantee quality, but we're including it in this rundown because 1, that map size is definitely mind-boggling to say the least, and 2, the game's presence of interlaced mechanics and systems means that gameplay depth will scale across vast distances, and that's obviously a very exciting prospect. Almost everything is climbable. Yes, the developer has confirmed that nearly everything, every wall, tower, cliff face, or mountain will be scalable. And in case you hadn't noticed, there's no yellow paint to show you the way like in so many other open world games out there. This means that climbing is properly
Hello, Cal.
integrated
Welcome
into the
in.
world.
How are
You will
you?
not be guided, yet with a raft of man-made structures and natural formations, you'll have near limitless opportunities to experiment with.
Yeah, I'm
This
really
one's
just
especially
worried.
mind-blowing when you consider the mountain in recent climbing game Cairn had its
I'm
structure
so worried that like I'm just gonna be bored within like 20 hours or something because like the world's it's too big. I feel like I don't know. I mean, I'm just concerned.
practically handcrafted by the studio to ensure navigational freedom. Given the scale of Pywell, it's unlikely the developer has undergone the same process. It's intriguing to see how
Oh, nice,
climbing
Cal.
will
Good
actually
shit.
work once you get yourself to the foot of a sheer rock face. Distant objects are highly detailed. Technical analysis from Digital Foundry noted that even faraway
Hello,
objects
Dan.
retain impressive levels of detail. Forests and farmland, structures and settlements, these all remain relatively convincing at long distances, pointing to a world which feels cohesive and vastly explorable. If you can clearly make out something
Is this a
interesting in the
Crimson
distance,
game?
you're
Yeah, it's a
going to want to
Crimson
go there.
Desert game.
Faction territories can be reclaimed. Sure, at face value, this one isn't a minuscule detail. Heck, it isn't even all that unique given Stalker 2 presents the same contested territories that can be cleared for your own game. What Crimson Desert does that relatively is unique for its antagonistic factions are uprooted. These locations actually don't stay hostile. No, normalcy appears to resume, with ordinary townsfolk moving back in to reclaim their lost space. Fishermen repurpose the riverside in believable ways, farmers return to their pastures, villagers recommence trading, and more. The knowledge base is massive. So again, not necessarily a tiny detail, but potentially thousands of tiny details all rolled into one codex. We're operating on speculation again here, but reports are emerging that
Hi,
the in-game
Keith.
knowledge
Oh, fuck.
analysis it isn't even all that unique territories.
I'm
that
just so
relatively is
concerned
unique for
about
its
this game. I feel like it needs to have interactions with the player to keep people in. Like, you mess up a city and you will hear people talking about it everywhere. Yeah, that'd be cool. It kind of reminds me of what you said. Like, that happens in SWTOR a lot, which is that Star Wars MMO. They actually like remember your actions and your choices. And I missed that game.
factions are uprooted. These locations actually don't stay hostile. No, normalcy appears
They already
to resume,
reduced
with
the
ordinary
price. What do you mean they reduced the price? I just bought it on sale. What do you mean? What? Hold on. Let me check like Steam or whatever. Hold on. Let me. Is it Steam or somewhere else? No, it still says 70. Pi, what do you mean? I'm confused. Yeah, it still says 70. $70. Oh no, I buy games from Green Man Gaming, which I always get like 15% to 20% off like any new game. So it's like it's not the actual site. It's like a key site, but they actually support the devs and everything.
townsfolk moving back in to reclaim their lost space. Fishermen repurpose the riverside in believable ways. Farmers return to their pastures. Massive. Details all rolled into one codex. We're operating on speculation again here, but reports are emerging that the in-game knowledge base contains nearly 3,000 entries. That's staggering. From wildlife to events, locations, and enemies encountered, should this one turn out true, then the sheer volume of information will certainly flesh out this world, if not make seeing everything feel quite insurmountable. Clothing reflects regional identity. Each of Pywell's 5 countries.
I mean, you can. It's not just the streamers, Pi. You can do it. Yeah, like anyone can do it, dude. Anyone can use the site. So like I just get that because new games and everything.
Distinct culture, geopolitics, and wealth distribution. So
They only
it's
announced
expected that
de novo too, make the CPU usage worse. I mean, it can't be that bad. I mean, if I assume this game's optimized because it's not Unreal Engine 5. Also, hello Mariah, welcome in.
NPC attire will change depending on their home region. Yet, operating on a micro level, individuals within specific regions will wear clothing that reflects their background and occupation. Character customization is incredibly granular. If you've not guessed it by now, Crimson Desert likes to go deep, like really deep. Character customization exemplifies this beyond most of the systemic attention to
Hi,
detail
Squid.
this feature has highlighted so far. Going well beyond basic presets, color palettes alone appear to offer dozens of shades for each piece of clothing and armor, with a range of materials to boot. Want your tunic to be a precise shade of red? Well, chances are Crimson Desert will let you fine-tune it. Clothing material rests realistically. How many times have you
Okay,
customized
okay, we
attack
can
and
just
rest
skip.
against each
I
other?
don't I don't really
Your cloak surrounds your
find it
undergarment, then
interesting.
reacting directly in response to your behavior, Crimson Desert's in-game economy reportedly shifts over time based on
God, I don't know, guys. I mean, I just I don't know how I feel about it overall. I really don't. It's hard to say.